What is going on, guys? Newton here with MMOplayer, bringing you guys a quick overview and look into Tracer on Heroes of the Storm. We're going to be going over her skills and her play style. So, if you guys have played Heroes of the Storm, are you familiar with it? It is a MOBA, and Tracer has just recently been added. Tracer from Overwatch, which is pretty cool and pretty interesting. And basically, she's a new character, and she's pretty strong at the moment. She's pretty OP. And the reason why I say that is because she has a few different aspects that make her a lot different than other heroes. And I guess a lot of people can argue the fact that she is really squishy, but that's the thing is, if you can pin her down and you can actually get a hold of her, she is easily killed, but that's just the thing, getting actually a hold of her and landing those skill shots. She's a pretty tricky character to get down and to kill, but a good one shouldn't have a hard time staying alive, and a bad one will die pretty darn easily. So getting right into the skills that we have over here, we have a few passives and other things like that. I think we'll just go ahead and click a few of them and just kind of briefly go over how they go. So that way we can kind of go over the skill sets and the play style of how Tracer works. So we have a few different passives. Looks like just a lot of them are passives to increase our skill effects and other things like that. Increases the range of global healing fountain, takes increased increased damage. Let's go ahead and go with that one. Increase blink strike charges, makes attacks reduce cooldown. Let's go ahead and reduce cooldown. Cooldown's always great. And what's cool about their ultimate has a few different variations. They all essentially do the same thing. Is they stick an enemy, but they just have a few different effects to them. So let's increase the pulse bomb areas as slow, does single target damage, and range and charge right. Let's go with area damage. It always sounds pretty good. Melee hits hit all enemies in range. We're gonna go with that as well. And let's go ahead, unload magazine. The enemy does bonus damage. Let's go ahead and do that. So now we're all caught up with our passives. And let's go ahead and go over her skill set briefly. So as you guys have noticed, basically her basic attacks are able to cast and shoot while she auto attacks, or she auto attacks and she can move at the same time, which is something no other hero can do. I guess you can kind of argue that Sylvanas can kind of do that with one of her skills as well. But essentially, Tracer has a pretty decent damage output with her basic attacks, and she reloads so fast that this kind of move and auto attack at the same time, as long as you're targeted on the enemy, I guess could be considered as kind of OP. And what's also really cool is she's really hard to pin down and to get caught up to land skill shots and other things like that. So like I said, a really good Tracer should be hard to kill, and a really bad one should be easy to kill. She's super mobile. She's an assassin. She's a ranged assassin, and a lot of her skills kind of really suit that skill set. She's highly mobile, which makes her really good for coming into other lanes and ganking other opponents, and just, kind of helping out as she is needed in different areas. So let's go ahead, and as you can see, we can kind of use her dash. She does get 3 charges of that, and after you do use them, they start reloading. So we have 1 more left, and as you can see, there's a little circle and a bar down there, and it's slowly recharging, and they recharge pretty darn fast. So her mobility, like I said, is extremely high. And it was also really cool is if you guys have played her in Overwatch or are familiar with her skill set is exactly the same as it is in Overwatch, making her like not really dumbed down or really like a simpler version as she is in Overwatch. It's exactly how she plays in Overwatch, which makes her very different and very strong in a MOBA. So not only can she dash wherever she wants, I mean, she does get a limit on the dashes here, but after a few seconds, she can recall to a previous point, which is extremely powerful. That's why I said a good Tracer is going to be very hard to kill. And a good player going against a Tracer could essentially kind of memorize where she can recall to and kind of land skill shots and pre-place them to where she's going to end up. But like I said, it takes a lot of practice and a lot of focus and concentration to kind of pin down and get a Tracer down. So let's go ahead and go over her ultimate. If we can get close to Arthas over here, we can kind of see. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. We stuck him with the grenade, and it explodes. I went with the passes, so where it does area damage, so it kind of damaged all the mobs around him as well, but it does a lot of damage. The only kind of downfall to it is you got to be kind of close to the enemy to get it off, but once again, she's a highly mobile character. It shouldn't be too hard to kind of catch up to an enemy and stick that ultimate, because it does do a lot of damage, and it's pretty worth kind of diving in to get it landed on enemy, especially if you go with AoE effect. It could be pretty good on kind of bringing down some opponents and helping do damage in team fights and other things like that. She's a really good character for a lot of different situations, whether it's helping out in team fights, doing single target damage, assassinating or ganking other lanes, grabbing objectives. She can just about do it all, and that's why she's kind of really strong right now. I do see her getting nerfed probably sometime in the future. How is they gonna nerf her? I'm not too sure. If I were to give one recommendation, maybe decrease her auto attack damage and increase the time it takes to reload her guns when she runs out of bullets. That could be pretty darn helpful, because as you can see here she does do a lot of damage with her basic attacks. It takes just about no time to reload as well, and I can just keep kiting enemies while dashing about the map, recalling when I need to, and landing those ultimates when I deem necessary. So other than that, she's a very easy character to pick up for new players, and she's a lot of fun as well. And if you do feel like being a little bit cancerous in Heroes of the Storm right now, you can definitely pick her up, or if you picked up Heroes of the Storm, you do get her for free, which is really cool and something I really like as well. And she's a really nice and easy, fun character to pick up for new players, and one that I recommend to try out, because she's a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun right now. Enjoy her while she's extremely strong, because she probably is going to get hit with the nerf bat pretty darn soon. But like I said, enjoy it while it lasts, and even if she does get nerfed, she still has a very, very fun kit and play style. She's the character that I'll probably still be playing, whether she has a huge damage reduction and other things like that. Her kit is just, it's a lot of fun to use, and it feels very familiar as it is in Overwatch and other things like that. But other than that, that's pretty much it to Tracer. She's very simple, very straightforward. If you've played her in Overwatch, you'll be very familiar with how she plays in here. Other than that, she's very easy to pick up. You don't have to use much practice with her. You can bring her right into games and do fairly well with her. But other than that, guys, if you guys have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. But until next time, guys, I will talk to you later.